why hasn't Microsoft explicitly stated which Bethesda games are going to be exclusive to Xbox?
Well, we've been saying this for a while.
Yeah, so let's go over again because we're clipping this thing. Manny, you been pretty strong about this.
In general, it has to do with their press. At this point in time, they don't have anything to. They don't have a pot to piss in. They don't have their Halos. They don't have their Gears of War. They don't have these big cornerstone titles that are immediately attracting people to the Xbox ecosystem, right? So anything they say, when they're saying stuff like, hey, we're just going to lock Starfield over to the next console, the minute they release that information, they literally shoot themselves in the foot and literally the backlash will immediately happen after that. So what they'll do is they're going to do it piecemeal. They're saying that's why they're leaving it vague. They're saying it's a case-by-case basis. It is a case-by-case basis because they're not going to overtly tell you that every single game that is in the pipeline at Bethesda is going to be exclusive to Xbox. It's going to happen. Why would you spend all of that money on getting this big company like ZeniMax or Bethesda just to say, okay, we're just going to start handing out these games also over to the competition? No, that ain't happening.
Yeah, exactly. And because the thing, Microsoft, and I kind of agree with the sentiment. People are saying that they're acting too much like the good guy. They kind of are. It's
yes.
like, but the thing is, if you read what they say, it's like they've pretty much said it. Phil Spencer said, we made this deal to bolster Game Pass to bring you exclusives. He flat out said that. But obviously he can't say it just yet, not only because of good faith, but again, remember, there's deals in the background and stuff that they need to iron out. There will be certain Bethesda games that still will be coming over. Obviously Deathloop is one of them.
Yeah.
So
I believe
they can't just make a blanket statement yet.
I believe it's all the stuff that they've previously announced that have already like previous announced, have dates and are going to be coming out.
Yeah,
those are the ones that will be the ones that are going to be coming out multi-platform.
Yeah, and then you have things like Elder Scrolls Online that's going to be supported everywhere. They're not going to support.
It's already, they're not going to lock that one down based on the fact, it's exclusive to Xbox. No, they're not going to do that because it's the same thing that that Microsoft did with Minecraft. Yeah. They didn't lock down Minecraft. They just literally it's on everything else, so it's on this too. So I think that's what this situation is they're again not going to say this stuff because of the plain fact they don't want to cause any sort of bad press. We've seen what the bad press does. How about when they decided that we got that random announcement that they were going to up the price of Games with Gold, right?
Yeah.
So what that caused? Yeah. They don't want that shit.
No, you're right.
Yeah. It's all about hedging your bets. Microsoft is not in a position of power per se. Like, they're not at the top right now. They're not a Nintendo. They're not a Sony. They're acting like the little engine that's trying to do what it can to go to the top. So by hedging your bets is the best way to sort of prepare for the future. Their consoles could all fail. You never know what's going to happen, and they're going to want these games that they invested so much money on to make as much profit as possible. So sometimes you can have the possibilities where you might need to put these games on the PlayStation or the Nintendos and stuff.
Well, for future proofing right now, owning all these studios, that's it. So in case, like you said, if these consoles all flop tomorrow, they're like, well, we're a software company, and here's our games.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But believe me, if Microsoft right now had the ego of fucking Jim Ryan and PlayStation, they'd be saying all of these games are going to be exclusive.
Yup, you already know. Yeah, Phil Spencer doesn't operate like that. That's the difference.
Yeah, I definitely think if they had more of a pot to piss in, if they had all those things in place and they were top dog, they said something like that.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Oh, what you saying?
I'm making a prediction right now. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to see Starfield for the first time, right? And the footage is going to be fucking amazing, right? Mind-blowing, right? Like, people are going to be like, oh my fucking God! And then at the end of it, Xbox PC exclusive. Ooh, watch that happen. People are going to be like, because now people will be like, hey, Microsoft will be like, hey, do you see that fucking game? You want an Xbox for that,
Yeah, exactly. They want that sort of cornerstone there. Oh, go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's the smart way to do it. It's make people hyped up for the games, not for the possibility of the games. And once they see something like Tony mentioned, they're seeing Starfield and it's blowing people's minds, and it's got the boost from the Bethesda name, and it's like the next big game to come out. And then when people see Xbox, Series or Xbox exclusive, Game Pass exclusive, and PC, then that's when people are going to be like, oh, am I gonna have to get an Xbox to play this game?
And by the way, when that trailer's running, right at the bottom, live footage from Xbox running right from an Xbox,
Mm-hmm. And then just stay off of Twitter when you see all the outrage.
Oh no! You want to be on Twitter that day because it is going to be
all the outrage.
Yes. Chris, what's your take on this? Why Microsoft hasn't explicitly stated which games are going to be exclusive?
Oh, I mean that'd be a huge mistake to market that right now. You just they don't need the negative press. I think Manny covered it.
Yeah.
I really can't add anything to that. It's perception is important, and setting expectations is super important in business. And a lot of times that gets messed up, right? And every company is guilty of that at one time or another. I think, you can't announce stuff ahead of time, and you don't want to alienate potential customers, right?
Yeah.
So doing it the way Tony said, when you show Starfield and you get everybody drooling, and then you say only on Xbox, that is a better way to do it than to just say Starfield is in development, it will be only on Xbox, because then you alienate anyone else that may have potentially come, people owning a PS5 right now who may be encamped at PlayStation going like, oh, maybe I got to get an Xbox. If you tell them this now, they're going to go, oh, fuck this game. Fuck Xbox. I'm too loyal.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because then it's going to come down to, it's like, man, Starfield, I want to get it, but it's only on Xbox. And somebody go, yo, but you see it, though. You see it, though, right? And then guys will be like, I know, but it's only on Xbox. But did you see it, though?
Right?
I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Go ahead,
so I don't think it's ever going to change. I think that Microsoft, when they say a case by case basis, it will be a case by case basis, and that doesn't mean that every case will be exclusives. If they have games that you've never heard of, or they're launching new IPs or whatnot, you'll probably see that non-exclusive. But of course, the big ones will obviously be exclusive. We've all been in agreement there. That way, they can launch game trailers and have people sitting around and be like, "Oh my god, I'm excited about this game. Maybe is it good? What's it coming to? Do we know anything yet?" And they can just release trailers without even saying, what system it's coming to. So they can build the hype ahead of themselves as long as they, release a game for PlayStation every once in a while. So I don't think we're ever going to get the very satisfactory, no, all games are now exclusive, because they're not going to be. The second you think that they are, they're going to come out with another fucking Deathloop or something like that. And honestly, it's a frustrating but successful sounding strategy.
I have a theory about that. I think Deathloop 2 will be an Xbox exclusive, and then
that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to launch it across everything, and then they're going to make it exclusive when it picks up. So they're going to cast a wide net for getting things hooked, and then when they have an audience, they pull them into Game Pass.
Yo, man, they're busting out a Trojan horse strategy.
Yeah. Who knows? That'd be interesting.
I wonder if it would be based on a decision if they look at the 90-day numbers for Deathloop, and if it's sold better than 3-1 on PS5, then I would say they would change that stance.
Yeah, well, we can't see that because Deathloop is only on PS5 and PC, obviously. But
it is. Oh, it's only forget that.
Yeah, that's a PlayStation exclusive. Yeah.
Never mind.
Going to Chris's point though, let's say Deathloop sells over 10 million copies on PlayStation 5. It's like, well, I guess we're gonna make this exclusive.
Yeah. Again, I still wonder if Deathloop is gonna be hurt by the fact that people be like, I'm not gonna play the sequel. I'll never be able to play the sequel to this, so why should I bother?
It all depends on people that follow all the news, and the casuals don't follow that shit.
They they don't.
Buy what they see, so they won't know this. They won't know.
Yeah, it's really for the hardcore. You're right. And that's always something we have to remind ourselves. Like, most of the game buying public is not guys like us. It is not.
Tony,
So yeah.
That's exactly why I said what I said, because everybody will know simply from when a game trailer launches who the studio is. You know, it'll be like, oh, that's a Microsoft-owned studio. That'll probably be going to this. But if they just show a bunch of trailers, the average public will be like, I don't know what's coming to. They haven't announced it yet, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once they've gotten people hooked, they'll do exactly what we've kind of talked about here. And by the way, I agree with everybody. But they'll just be like, oh yeah, I kind of get you hooked, get you salivating for the game, and then be like, yeah, that one's a Microsoft exclusive too. Because the more they do that, the more it puts into the news cycle. Like the more times you hear, yeah, it's a Microsoft exclusive. Yeah, that's a Microsoft exclusive too. Yep, that one too. The more it kind of builds this narrative in your brain that everything is on Xbox.
Yeah.
And I think that might be what they're trying to go for.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure, man.